Hey, what's up, my Dragon Legion? How y'all been? So, the Dragoons, today we're going to be doing a Cardfight Vanguard deck profile, but not one of my decks today. Today we're going to be doing a Vanguard profile of Zellen's deck today. Hi, Jalen, how are you today?
I'm doing pretty good.
Except for what happened earlier before we started recording. So anyways, so what deck are we doing today?
We are doing Genesis today.
And what got you into Genesis in the first place?
What got me into Genesis in the first place is because of Fenrir here.
Okay, Fenrir, and what else got you into the deck besides just him? Was it just him, or was there other reasons?
Well, there was also Vanguard, of course.
And Vanguard, he is just a really amazing, great card, honestly. He's just an aggressive beast. We'll do some explaining how these guys are good and such. But nonetheless, let's move on to the deck profile itself. So, what do we got today?
Alright, so we have our starting Vanguard. Fetter of Leather Lighting. Basically, he is a must-have starting Vanguard for this Genesis build.
Oh, yeah.
Basically, you put him in the Soul and give one of your Vanguard a new ability. Basically, when you Soul Blast with this card, that means you can be able to call that creature from the drop zone to the open rear guard circle.
Now, he definitely does his best with Vanguard, of course.
Yes, I mostly only use him when I'm striding into Vanguard.
Right, you can use him with other strides, but obviously Vanguard is your go-to guy to use his ability with obvious reasons.
Yes.
Because Vanguard can Soul Blast like 6 cards, whatever, and this gives you potential of some huge amount of rear guards after that ability.
Yes.
Okay, so this is obviously your starter right there.
Yes, and Fenrir can do the same thing except you counterblast.
Right, of course.
Alright, so we have our trigger lineup. Basically, 4 crits.
Zelen likes the classic 4/4/4.
Yeah, 4 draws, 4 heals, and this is a must stand trigger you must have in this deck.
That card is absolutely amazing right here.
Yeah, and it's definitely a must-have in your deck. Basically, Generation Break, put them on top of your deck during the end of your turn, bring all your cards, and every last card from your drop zone, put it back in your deck, shuffle, and of course, if there are 10 or more, you draw 1.
And another thing that's also good about Dreaming Dragon is that if you ever Soul Blast if you ever Soul Blast him, if he ever gets back into your drop zone or whatever, and you ever use your Dreaming Dragon, put back your Forerunner back into your deck, and if you ever redraw your Forerunner, you can actually reuse your Forerunner's ability, which is actually very interesting.
Now for our grade 1s. We have, for Dromi, the Beat Stick,
10K, 1K, grade 1, 8K vanilla.
Our Perfect Guards, and the Counter Charge Perfect Guards.
Nice. And instant strides, I assume?
Yes. And also good for searching Fenrir.
Right, you call him the rear guard circle, reveal a grade 3, then you can add a Vanguard from deck to your hand, and then pitch any card, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
And this bad boy is really great.
3 Hates. One of my other personal favorite Genesis.
And plus, he's a really good recommend for this type of build right here, because you're going to be doing quite a bit of soul blasting. And this dude right here gains 1K power for every card you ever soul blast. Now, have you ever thought about cutting out one of your 8K vanilla guys for one more of him?
Maybe.
I would definitely do so if I was you.
4 of our Beat Sticks.
Now this is our grade 2s, by the way. Now,
yes.
Now we were talking about this before we did this profile right here. You said you were going to cut out one of her and play some Mythic Snakes, whatever.
Yes, which we'll get to Mythic Snake in a little bit.
Right.
4 of the other go-to card of your deck. Gleipnir, when he's being boosted, Counterblast, Soul Charge 3.
Right. And here's the Mythic Snake we were talking about earlier.
Yes, I have only currently 1 right now, but I'm going to have to use Mythic.
Witch of Grapes?
Yeah, yes, Witch of Grapes.
Yeah. One thing we want to point out about the 10K vanillas, for those who do not know, the reason why Zelen likes to play the 10K vanillas besides the 12K attackers is that, unlike the 12K attackers, the 10K vanillas are just as good as offense as they are equally defense. With them having an extra 1,000 power, they can actually be good to block off some attacks a lot easier as well.
Anyway, 3, which of Wolves.
Not a terrible card.
Yeah, I just like using her because 1, Wolves, and she's not bad, both being Vanguard and Rearguard.
Right. Well, her limit break ability, her ability isn't really the greatest, but what's really great about her is that in case if you can't use your main wolf guy's ability no more, you can always ride into her instead, and then her limit break ability can help you get around some big, huge numbers here and there and such.
Yeah.
And now your heart and soul of your deck right here, which is coming up very shortly, right here.
Yes, 4 Fenrirs.
Yep, the big cheese of the deck himself.
Yes.
So his ability is, what's his ability following again?
Okay. the two abilities. His first ability is Generation Break 2, Soul Blast 3. Then after that, he'll gain 1 critical and the ability if when he attacks, your opponent cannot block with grade 1s or higher. The only cards basically they can back off with is grade 0.
Right, so no perfect guards, no special intercepts or anything. Nothing. Pretty much the only thing you have to worry about when you swing with this guy is triggers and whatever forerunner they conveniently have in their hand. That's about it and such. So other than that, when you swing with this card, they pretty much have nothing to stop this card's attack when you go out with him. And the second ability is when you stride, you can soul charge 3 and such.
Yes, you soul charge 3 and of course give the Vanguard a new ability where you can be able to, when you soul blast those cards, you counterblast and be able to call one of them.
Ah, nice. So this gives you a lot of big, huge control ability. So even if you charge into your Dreaming Dragons or anything as such, you can always use this guy's ability to call out the Dreaming Dragon you just soul blasted. So right out of nowhere, you can start using your Dreaming Dragon's ability to start recycling your stuff all over again.
Yes. And now for the strides.
Oh yeah.
We have the 4 of the main monster, Vanguard.
Now this is a really good, powerful dude. You're gonna have lots of fun explaining this guy.
Yes, basically he's Generation Break 2, so you'll have to stride it at least once.
Right.
His other ability is when he attacks before drive check. Remember this, folks. Before drive check. So if you want to play this card, remember that. To your opponent, you'll tell him this is before drive check.
They can decide if they want to block or not, but before you get to your drive check step, you get to get the ability right there.
Exactly.
So you Soul Blast 6, and you look at the top 4 cards, and your Persona Flip, of course.
Yes.
You look at the top 4 cards of your deck, and you decide what put them in any order, and any other cards you can put in the bottom of the deck. So if you don't like any of the 4 cards you're looking at, you can pretty much just slap them in the bottom of the deck, or if there's any triggers you like, you can be like, oh, I like these cards, but I don't like these cards. I'm going to put 2 of these in the bottom, and then put the other 2 at top and anywhere I like. And then when I get my drive checks, I'm going to be like, oh, hey, I conveniently have these triggers out of nowhere.
Exactly. 2 of my other personal favorite of the Genesis strides, Doom Embrace Angel.
Now, Doom Embrace Angel is actually not too bad. Now, what's he do for those who do not know?
For those who do not know, he has 2 abilities. 1, his ability is you Soul Blast 3, and you choose 2 units, and they gave 5,000. Plus, if his soul happens to be... Let me see how much less. That means 2 or less, you get to Soul Charge 3.
Okay, so if you conveniently happen to have less than 2 after you pay the cost, you pretty much get to repay for the cost for practically nothing almost.
Exactly.
So which is really nice. So again, it's another ability where you can potentially get your stuff going right out of the back and such. Get your fuel going for your Dreaming Dragon, and just get you some really nice utility power for your rear guards as well.
He also combos off with both Haite,
right, just like Vanguard, of course,
and Mythic Snake.
Right. And these guys, as we mentioned earlier, already are gaining so much power because you're soul blasting this. So plus their abilities and his power gaining to them will just turn your rear guards into huge, massive rear guards out of nowhere.
Exactly. And finally, just for having it, she's actually not so bad if you use her correctly.
She's not terrible. She's actually not bad.
Basically, when your attacks hit the Vanguard, you look at the top 3 cards of your deck, you pick one of them, goes to your hand, and the rest goes in the soul.
Okay, and you Soul Blast 3 for the cost, right?
Yes.
So when his units attack, you may Soul Blast 3 if you do. Look at the top 3 cards, choose one of them, go in your hand, and the rest go into your soul, which is not a bad ability. So it gives you, kind of like the Vanguard, but not as good as Vanguard. It kind of gives you a control. It gives you kind of a control search. It gives you a control search and a control build for your soul as well, for your future plays as well.
Yes.
And so that's your Vanguard your Genesis deck right now. Now, what's your success and so what's your strengths and weaknesses right now besides your proxies?
The strengths of the deck is that it controls on the searching for the drive check. That's with Vanguard,
right.
And of course, it also is good for when you are good at soul charging. That's one of the things it's definitely good at.
Right. Another thing is it's very great on powering up your rear guards as well. It doesn't do it as well as Angel Feathers do conveniently, but considering the fact that this deck technically doesn't have that many mechanics as Angel Feather, considering the fact that it doesn't have those similar mechanics, and it can still give your rear guards so much power, while your rear guards already have built-in abilities where they power themselves up as well, along with your Vanguard's ability, shows some really impressive signs. Along with, as we kept on mentioning, your Vanguard just has the ability to just literally turn the tides out of nowhere. So with cards like Vanguard, it doesn't really matter if your opponent perfect guards you or not, because your Vanguard can really help you set your plays up immediately when your opponent drops something big on you when supposedly you're supposed to lose. But with the right setup, your Vanguard and other cards can give you can really set yourself up for a big, huge epic comeback for a turn later or so.
Now, the weakness of the deck is that it relies a little too much on soul blasting, and the fact that the thing of it is that here's the thing: if you don't have cards to soul blast with, then you're gonna be boned.
Right. It's a very soul blast relying. It's a really soul relying deck, which is not a terrible thing. But short and sweet, if you're not able to soul blast, you can't use your abilities.
Exactly. It's like a little bit like Dark Irregulars with the soul charging and soul blasting. A little bit.
Right, but the difference between this deck and that deck is that that deck is more like, I'm going to put all my cards in soul, and I'm rarely going to soul blast them because I want all these abilities and such. And it's all about one in towards one Vanguard, as far as I know. Whereas this build of Genesis, at least, it's all about utilizing the control of the field. It's kind of a little bit how old school Kagero kind of are, minus us utilize, not Kagero, pardon me. I'm thinking about, it's kind of like the usage of old school role paladins before, without the usage of the soul almost, if you kind of think about it.
Yes.
So it's a very board controlling based deck, and as long as you're able to control the board, that's what gives you the high win and all that such. And again, as long as you keep track of soul, you should be in good games right there, such.
The other thing is you got to be able to be careful with deck out. That's where Dreaming Dragon will come in.
Right. Despite the fact that you have some recycling abilities and all that such, there is a good potential fear of decking out all that such. Thankfully, which is why this deck is very reliant on Dreaming Dragon sometimes and such, isn't it?
Yes, that's why as I said in the video, you must run Dreaming Dragon in the deck.
Okay.
It's a must-stand trigger.
At least in our perspective.
Yes.
Alright, so that's Zelda's deck right there and such. Hope you all enjoy this deck right here and such. For those of you who want to check out Zelda now, he has both his own Yu-Gi-Oh! Channel, /Vanguard, /Buddy Fight channel, and he also has a My Little Pony channel. For those of you who don't know Zelda and I are both bronies. We both like My Little Pony. But I usually do my Little Pony content on his channel, on his My Little Pony channel and such. But please check out his two channels. You'll like him definitely very much. I'll leave the link in the description down below for both his Yu-Gi-Oh! And his Train Guardian channel, and his My Little Pony channel down in the description down below for those who want to check it out. And with that being said, let us know what you think about this deck profile in the comment section down below. And we'll see you Dragoons around. Hope you Dragoons enjoy this video. Please leave a like and a favorite if you did, and share this video with other people. It really helps me out a lot. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter. Subscribe to Zelda's 2 channels because for whatever reasons he likes you for. And subscribe today on this channel to become part of the Dragon Legion Lights. And we will see you Dragoons another day. Christian Dragoon, signing out. Peace.